Good morning. Of course, it's Galaxy today, and it's May 8th, 2018. Of course, a whole lot of us got into the office wet this morning, and some people were fortunate to get into the office before the wet mornings. But all the same, it's a good morning, and we do hope it's going to be a great day. I'm Uche Onyekuluji, and today being Tuesday, we'll be looking at APC World Congresses and Ekiti gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend. But then, as usual, in order to kick-start this program, of course, you know that for you to be part of this program, we'll bring out the number right on the screen, which you can only text. Do not call, please. But in between the program, we'll be visiting Ekiti as well as Abuja, and of course, we have Lagos guests as well. But before then, let's take this report. When we return, we'll be talking more on APC World Congresses.
Congress in Ekiti State has been stalled due to violence. This was after the disruption of the exercise by some agents. Some aspirants who emerged from a meeting with the governor of Nasarawa State, who is also the chairman of the Ekiti APC primaries, Umaru Tanko Almakura, confirmed that a new date will be announced. Voting was ongoing, and a good number of delegates had cast their votes when suddenly delegates raised the alarm that a candidate, the Minister of Mines and Steel, Kayode Fayemi, was breaching the rules without any caution from the organizers. The agents of the other aspirants alleged that the process had been compromised due to some practice allegedly introduced by delegates voting for Fayemi. The agents immediately disrupted the process, forcing security agents to cordon off the voting area to secure the ballot boxes and papers. Efforts by the chairman of the organizing committee, Governor Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa State, to call the primaries to order was unsuccessful.
From our governors, former senators, former speakers, from the rest of them. So we'll give them that privilege of voting first so that they can take their rest.
The members of the All Progressives Congress APC in Ekiti State, however, commended the decision of the Primary Election Committee to suspend the process indefinitely.
We discovered that one of the aspirants has about 2-3 agents there, who is supposed not to be.
Is a Lori Awoyemi, an old man for crying out loud. This is JKF. He printed this to be given to these delegates. As they are voting, after voting, I think he instructed them that they should put the serial number of the ballot paper on this.
When somebody nominated as a minister, and nobody against him in the state, he should go and represent us. And you still have an ambition of contesting for the governorship position. You didn't resign. You hold that position. You say you went for leave, and you are still contesting, holding that position, not release that position to another person.
While the man at the center of the crisis that marred the suspended Ekiti State APC gubernatorial primaries over the weekend in Ado-Ekiti, Ademola Adeosi, has appealed to political gladiators in the state to consider the future of the youths. Other delegates, however, appealed to law enforcement agencies in the country to arrest the perpetrators in order to teach others a lesson. Dayo Bejide and Sunday Ebenezer, who were delegates at the primaries, accused the security agencies of compromising standards.
Welcome back. That was the Ekiti gubernatorial primaries that went down over the weekend. And in case you're just joining us, I mean, it is Galaxy today. And like we rightly said, if you want to be part of this program, there's a number that will be flashed on the screen. Please SMS, do not call, and you can participate. All right, we'll be heading straight to Abuja, where we have the special advisor to President Buhari on political matters, and that's the person of Senator Babafemi Ojoju, who is also an aspirant. Okay, so if you're ready for us in Abuja, we'd just like to know what's your opinion before we go into reaction on what happened on Saturday. What exactly is your opinion about the APC World Congresses? What can you say about it? Okay, looks like Abuja isn't ready. We'll be coming back to Abuja. Well, right here in Lagos, we have two guests who would also be looking into the same topic with us. We have Larry Afolabi, a public affairs analyst, as well as Emeka Maldonado, publisher at Metro Star newspaper. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's so good to have you today.
Yeah, so good to be.
Okay, as much as I want us to talk about these APC congresses, I just want us to react to what we saw concerning the gubernatorial primaries that went down Saturday in Ekiti. We all saw what happened. Let me start with you. What's your take and what's your reaction to what you saw?
Yeah, well, I'll say it's not unexpected, and then it's shameful. If members of a political party, would, instead of casting their votes freely, casting the ballots to decide on a candidate, will now decide to turn on each other, scatter the ballots, and generally disrupt the exercise. Then I wonder what manner of politicians they are. That reminds us of the do or die politics we had in the recent past, where lives were lost unnecessarily, houses were burnt. A lot of bad blood has passed in this political dispensation, and these are not the kind of things that we need to build our democracy. It's unfortunate that a party in power that came into power, the mantra of change, that claimed that it will come to turn things around. It will play politics by a different set of rules. In fact, in the proper way, cannot organize a simple primary. In a small state like Ekiti, what is the population of Ekiti? You can't organize primaries in a small state like Ekiti. Is it the presidential election? What are we going to see? It's unfortunate that people had to descend to something. And the sad thing is that you could even see the desperation on the part of one or two aspirants. You heard what people were saying. They were mentioning names. It wasn't as if it was a hidden thing. So why would any aspirant want to violate the rules of a process? Rules are clearly stated. Why would you want to violate it? Now, when you get into office, are you going to govern the people, or are you going to destroy the people?
The people, exactly.
Is it for the good of the people you want to get into office, or for personal aggrandizement? Because you want to go into office and line your pockets? Because you want to go into office for the personal reasons, not for reasons of service? I think we need to begin to look at our political process. The way our politicians conduct themselves has got to a very shameful level. It's sad. In fact, it should not be heard of. We just heard the story of a small girl, of a teenager, 17-year-old girl in the UK, who just won a councillorship election. Now imagine if such a girl was in Ekiti, they will smash they will smash the girl to pieces. But look at it. While the world is, while people are expressing sadness at what happened in Ekiti, the world is celebrating a 17-year-old girl who became a councillor. Now, how do you put both? Now, the people involved in this process are people old enough to be our fathers. Some are even old enough to be our grandfathers. And yet, look at what is going on. It's shameful.
Okay, we'll still come back to Lagos studio. It looks like Abuja is ready for us. Let's head on to Abuja, where we'll be talking to Senator Babafemi Ojudu, Special Advisor to President Buhari on political matters. Good morning, Senator. All right, sir. Okay, we're looking at the Ekiti gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend and the whole thing that happened over there. I'd like to take your reaction, seeing that you're also an aspirant amongst the 33 aspirants for the governorship seat. What was your reaction? What would you say about the whole thing that happened during the primaries? Okay, I think we still have a bit of hiccup there. We might need to come back to Abuja. We're so sorry for that. But let's be back to studio. We were talking about the reactions. Okay, we know that there are 33 aspirants. Amongst the 33, only one person, according to Ashwaju Bola Tinubu, said only one person is expected to be the flag bearer. Now, in your own opinion, seeing all that happened and seeing how desperate, like you mentioned, how desperate some of these people are, seeing what happened, do you think we have, or APC has what it takes to select just one person to be the flag bearer for APC gubernatorial?
Their ability to select one person. Before you can actually submit opinion about what is happening in Ekiti, you just have to understand the historical background of the APC as a party, you know, and their antecedents since when they won the general election in 2015. Because whatever you are experiencing today is expected, going by what has been happening since when they won the election, their inability to manage the post-electoral victory in 2015, their inability to create a kind of unity of political purpose, and that is what is actually translating to what you are experiencing at different world congresses all over the country, and Ekiti inclusive. What is happening in Ekiti at the moment is what you can be seen as an attempt, intrigues on how to gain power, to retain power, or regain power. So it is expected, because if you actually monitor the APC as a political party in the recent time, the congresses that they are having all around the country, they were actually reluctant about it. They did not want to have it. There were some politics all about influence. There are some people at the moment who are very, very influential, leaning on some factors, political factors, probably due to the proximity to the power at the center. And you know, there are some other factors to be considered because you can be seen as an influential politician. One of it is the connection to the grassroots. Some politicians were considered to be influential, you know, as a result of their closeness to the power at the center, but they do not have grassroots connections. And that brings us to the fact that why do you have 33 aspirants in APC alone in the first place?
For Ekiti.
For Ekiti. And before you can even talk about that, you have to appreciate Ekiti as a state, you know, as a people. You
sound like you're from Ekiti State.
No, I have a shared knowledge about Ekiti. I actually school in Ekiti.
Okay.
And I have a lot of friends.
All right.
So, in Ekiti. So like I was saying, you have to understand that fact. You know, some people that were not favorably disposed to having congresses, they did not emphasize the the problem, or the enormity of the opposition they are experiencing at the moment. That it will be so difficult for them to emerge or to sustain their influence after this exercise if they play by the rules. And that's just the reality. That is what is happening in Ekiti. We have to have asked ourselves the question about why 32, or let me say 27 are like in unison against one particular aspirant in Ekiti. You understand? So before you can submit opinion, you have to understand the historical development in the metamorphosis of APC as a party at the national level and what is transpiring at the local government and state level at the moment.
All right, he did say something that looking at 27 people, 28 against one person. And you know that like you have a shared knowledge. You want to shed some light into that?
Yeah, you see, first of all, I have nothing against the number of aspirants. They can be 33, they can be 50, they can be 100. Politics is about interest.
Yes.
Yeah, people are free to express their interest. But what worries me is the fact that people don't want to submit themselves to due process. Laws that were set by your own party, you do not want to respect those laws.
Who in particular are you talking about here?
Sorry?
Who in particular are you talking about?
All the aspirants.
Okay.
It's unfortunate because the aspirants, their conduct, you know, you could see the kind, like he was saying, you know, the build up to the primaries, the way some of them were, you know, the kind of comment some of them were making. One of them was saying that after the election, the governor, the sitting governor will be led to prison, that he will be thrown into prison, will do this and that, you know. I mean, one of them was alleged to have been caught saying that he would distribute money to delegates, that since others are doing it, he would do that, and all kinds of allegations. So you now find out that if they cannot find unity of purpose other than to gang up against each other, then you want to try and situate the interest of the people in all this. Where is the interest of the Ekiti people in all this? It's all about political, it's all about personal aggrandizement. Yes, every politician is a selfish, adventurer. They go into politics for selfish reasons. Yes, but the fact of the matter is that you don't now destroy the very society you claim to want to serve. Now, to your, back to your question again. We're talking about 27, 28 aspirants ganging up against one aspirant. Yes, it's all about interest. It's about interest, it's not unexpected. But you do that in a peaceful manner. It's not in such a way that you look at the show of shame, people are capturing ballot boxes and all of that. What stops them from pulling out guns and turning on each other, at the end of the day? Are they in politics because the interests of the people
yes,
is going to be served, or because there are political IOUs to be settled? Okay.
I want you to hold your thoughts on that. So let's maybe take a quick break. For those of you who didn't see the special reports we had on the gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend, let's go see it again, and we'll be back still talking with our guests in the studio and those in Abuja and Ekiti. Stay with us.
Governorship primaries of the All Progressives Congress in Ekiti State has been stalled due to violence. This was after the disruption of the exercise by some agents. Some aspirants who emerged from a meeting with the governor of Nasarawa State, who is also the chairman of the Ekiti APC primaries, Umaru Tanko Almakura, confirmed that a new date will be announced. Voting was ongoing, and a good number of delegates had cast their votes when suddenly delegates raised the alarm that a candidate, the Minister of Mines and Steel, Kayode Fayemi, was breaching the rules without any caution from the organizers. The agents of the other aspirants alleged that the process had been compromised due to some practice allegedly introduced by delegates voting for Fayemi. The agents immediately disrupted the process, forcing security agents to cordon off the voting area to secure the ballot boxes and papers. Efforts by the chairman of the organizing committee, Governor Tanko Almakura of Nasarawa State, to call the primaries to order was unsuccessful.
From our governors, former senators, former speakers, and the rest of them. So we'll give them that privilege of voting first so that they can take their rest.
The members of the All Progressives Congress APC in Ekiti State, however, commended the decision of the primary election committee to suspend the process indefinitely.
We discovered that one of the aspirants has about 2-3 agents there who supposed not to be. Is a Lori Awoyemi, an old man for crying out loud. This is JKF. He printed this to be given to these delegates. As they are voting. After voting, I think he instructed them that they should put the serial number of the ballot paper on this.
When somebody nominated as a minister and nobody against him in the state, he should go and represent us. And you still have an ambition of contesting for the governorship position. You didn't resign. You hold that position. You say you went for leave, and you are still contesting, holding that position, not release that position to another person.
While the man at the center of the crisis that marred the suspended Ekiti State APC gubernatorial primaries over the weekend in Ado-Ekiti, Ademola Adeosi, has appealed to political gladiators in the state to consider the future of the youths. Other delegates, however, appealed to law enforcement agencies in the country to arrest the perpetrators in order to teach others a lesson. Dayo Bejide and Sunday Ebenezer, who were delegates at the primaries, accused the security agencies of compromising standards.
Welcome back. I'm sure those who missed out, you've been fed about what happened briefly at the Ekiti State gubernatorial primaries over the weekend. All right, having seen what happened, I mean, behind cameras we're talking about what the soldiers were doing while these elections were going on. It felt like they gave room to the thugs to do whatever it is they needed to do before intervening. So a whole lot of people, or some people might actually think this could be a political thing. Like Governor Fayoshe said that the PDP will be having theirs today, and that he's been hearing speculations that APC are planning to disrupt the primaries as well, so that people could think is the order of every party, that whenever there are primaries. Okay, now, so I want you to react to this. Okay, are you saying that he's saying that as a signal that I wouldn't want issues during these primaries, or it's just a political gang-up thing?
No, Fayoshe is a showman.
Okay.
Who will come and disrupt primary where Fayoshe, where Fayoshe, the sitting governor, is in charge? I mean, come on. Let's put that one aside. The APC has messed itself up in Ekiti. There's no doubt about that. They've shown that, there were grievances in the party, there were grievances in the fold, which were not addressed by leadership of the party. And don't forget, the state chairman just recently got the murder charge, against lifted. So even the party in the state is not together. That's what all this has shown. That the people have not been carried along. Dr. Fayemi, who's a minister, what it shows is that he has not been in touch with the people. Because if you're in touch with the people at the grassroots, if you are really if you're really a politician who is so popular, you don't need police around you. You don't need all those policemen, civil defense, soldiers. You don't need all of that. Are you gathering all that security armada against your own people? You should test your popularity. And there are some other aspirants too who are members of boards of federal parasitals and agencies. How are they testing their popularity with the people? So for people to have come up like that, For me, it's condemnable, one. But again, you need to look at the root causes of these things. You could see from what some of the viewers say that they are not happy. That fine, you are a minister and you still want to be governor. That there are other, that means saying that there are other people to give way to other people. And you hear that in Nigerian politics. You cannot hold this and hold this. You are not the only one who can be in any political office. So if you're here, like somebody suggested that all those occupying political positions should have been cleared of the seat, that they should have been asked not to run. Okay. Maybe that would have reduced the tension. You know, I mean, when Dr. Goodluck Jonathan was the president, of course, you know, ministers in his cabinet resigned 6 months to the election. So what's the point of saying that the minister should go on leave for 30 days? What is the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that? Okay. If you want to be a minister, remain minister. If you want to be governor, you leave the position, then go and test your popularity at the grassroots. But if with all the security cordon, people were still able to do what they did, then it calls into question the motive of the security agents at that venue that day. What was their motive? What was really going on? Or was it that certain political godfathers behind the scene were pulling strings outside the arena? So it's interesting.
Okay, so we'll still come back to the talking, but before then, remember that for you to go see the movie Avengers, you know what to do. All you just have to do is sit back, watch Galaxy Television, and take a selfie of you watching Galaxy, and then, of course, tag us on Instagram at Official Galaxy Television, or just at Galaxy TV, tag at Media Reach and at Coca-Cola, and of course, you'll be having a ticket to go see the movie for free. We'll take a break now, and shortly after then, we'll be back still talking APC World Congresses. Going away.
As of yesterday, on the request of the governor from the information we got, they swapped the members who are coming to conduct elections from Imo and swapped them with Anambra State. As Anambra people were coming here, they were kidnapped by government house officials and had been detained in government house until a few hours ago when luckily the Commissioner of Police was able to intervene and got them relieved. So we've been here discussing with the Commissioner of Police on the matter, and we're about going for the stakeholders meeting. You know, there's every attempt to stop this Congress by the government because they're afraid of what may happen if the Congress is conducted, but we want to be grateful to the...
All right, welcome back. Of course, we're still looking at the APC World Congresses and the Ekiti gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend. We'll just move straight down to Ekiti, where the whole thing happened. I mean, there are the reasons we're sitting here talking about the gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend. And with us is the APC chieftain, Yemi Olayinka, all the way from Ekiti State. Good morning, Yemi. It's good to have you on the show today.
Good morning. Good morning, Nigerians. It's my pleasure to be on Galaxy Television.
All right, Yemi, we've been talking about Ekiti gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend. But before then, I'd like us to look at the APC World Congresses. I'd like you to share your opinion on the World Congresses so far, seeing that it looks like there's a whole lot of things going on. I'd like you to share your own opinion as the APC chieftain concerning the World Congresses.
I think we have a challenge on our hands. There's a lot of problems within the party right now. I think the leadership of the party did not manage the process, adequately the way they should. And that's the problem we have on our hands. And I believe so strongly that from now on, we need to look at various things. The Congress, a lot of misunderstandings between the leadership, between the state leadership, and every other member of the party. And I think I want to advise the CWC. They should do more. I think this is high time we put our house in order. Though normally when a party is in control at the federal level, you can't but see this kind of a thing. But I want to assure you that all the challenges that we have at various states, at various local governments, we're going to correct them. I think the National Working Committee is looking at all these problems, and I think everything will be resolved in due time.
Let's take in, but then let's look at the gubernatorial primaries that held over the weekend that caused a whole lot of hiccups. I mean, people, not even people, we know that 33 aspirants were vying for to be the flagship bearer for APC, and at the end of the day, the election had to, the primaries had to be cancelled. What's your reaction to what happened on Saturday?
Well, it's unfortunate that we have this kind of a scenario on our hands in Ekiti State, because this is the state of intellectuals. We are people of integrity. We are people of very sound minds. So I don't expect what happened on Saturday. But be that as it may, we should all work together to ensure victory for our party, because there is a crisis already. This crisis must be resolved in due time, in the interest of the party, in the interest of each and every one of us, in the interest of the states. We need to work together. The bickering is unnecessary. It's a game. Only one person will win at the end of the day. I want all the aspirants, all the people that are involved to come together, to reason together, to ensure that, okay, this is just a game. Only one person will win. And two people cannot win at the same time. It's just one position. The position of the governor is one person. The governor cannot be the deputy governor. The governor cannot be the senator. The governor cannot be the House of Rep. So it's just going to be one person. And they should see it in that way, that it's a game. And everybody should come together to ensure our parties succeed eventually. And that's advice. That's what I feel we should do.
Okay, saying that what happened on Saturday caused a lot of, the chaos caused a whole lot of concerns for people, and the present sitting governor did made a statement that today, being the PDPs and primaries, said there are rumors and speculations that APC has sponsored some thugs to disrupt their own primaries as well. And then he also said that this plot is another for, the plot is geared towards telling people that these things do happen in every party. What's your take on that? What can you say about that?
Well, with all due respect to Governor Ayodele Fayose, between the APC and the PDP, we know who is a thug. We know who can disrupt an election. We know who can disrupt a process. Without much ado, we know what Governor Ayodele Fayose is capable of doing. And I know that that's just a flaw. The people in that party should be wary, because when he made that statement, he's looking for where to hide, where to do his own way, what he can do, what he knows best how to do. He's a very violent individual, and we all know it. Not even to Ekiti State, in Nigeria and large, everybody knows him. So I will not dignify myself in saying what Ayodele Fayose can do. Nigeria knows exactly what Fayose can do. So in our party, we are not violent. What happened on Saturday was just unfortunate. It's just because of the process, and some hoodlums hijacked the process and all that, because the security agencies compromised. That's exactly what happened. But apart from that, we are not interested in what happened in PDP. We know of a surety. We know of a truth that we are going to beat PDP. PDP is not a party to contend with in the July election. APC, whoever we are going to feature at the end of the day will be the PDP candidate hands down. And that's everybody knows. People are tired of Ayodele Fauci. People are tired of the person he's picking up. Even the people in his party, they are tired of him. So everybody knows. So I mean, Ayodele Fauci saying that we want to disrupt his primaries is uncalled for. And we all know that. So we know what he can do. We know what he's capable of doing. Even without being a sitting governor, we know what he has done in the time past. So we have all the records. So we are not bothered about what he said. What is the primary concern of APC right now is to put our house in order and to ensure victory in the election in 2018 in July, just around the corner.
It's still on the thing. I mean, I just got a message from a concerned citizen who said his name is Mr. Sam from Ikorodu. He said the problem, or the major problem, is that there's high level of lawlessness and indiscipline as well as impunity, not just in the country but also in your party. And that is, he said that is what manifested in APC. Do you agree with this, citizen?
I disagree absolutely about impunity in APC. If you look at them, if you look at it properly, a party's, we have a leader. The leadership of the party, represented by Muhammadu Buhari, is a man of integrity, is a man that believes in integrity. There is no lawlessness in our party. But unfortunately, what happened on Saturday, people could refer to, oh, maybe there is impunity, that there is lawlessness in the party. No, I disagree absolutely. Anybody that knows the leadership of the party, from the president to our leader, who is Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we know that we are disciplined people. We are people of integrity. And most especially in Ekiti State, we don't like lawlessness. I mean, Ekiti has been adjudged to be one of the best and a very peaceful state in Nigeria. So there's no lawlessness in our party. But unfortunately, when you have people contesting for a position, they are bound to be maybe challenges here and there. And the hiccup that we experienced on Saturday is as a result of the weakness on the part of the security agencies. I mean, we don't expect it, but it has happened and we're going to resolve it.
So we do have reports here as well that for those or the aspirants whom are seen to be the reason for the uproar that happened on Saturday, we're told that they might be disqualified. I just want to ask, is that the only penalty that will be granted for such, or are you saying that there's some other way of discipline, whoever it was, and I mean, whoever ganged up or whatever the reasons are? I just want to know what your stance are. How are you guys, or what are you people thinking? How do you want to deal with the issue, and how do you want to deal with those who actually caused the whole riffle that happened on Saturday?
Thank you very much for that question. It has been an issue that we have debated here and there. If the leadership of the party feel that they want to sanction some people that are involved in the violence of Saturday, okay, all well and good. But I feel, because we are on ground, we are the people right in Ekiti State, we are here, and we know exactly what is going on. There are issues that are involved. They didn't just disrupt the process because there must be a cause, there must be a reason. They need to deal with the root cause of the problem rather than sanctioning individual. If you want to cheat me and I feel cheated in any exercise, I can react anyhow. It's a spontaneous reaction. And I know the guy that even led the disruption, I know him too well, is a very peaceful individual. And if you say you want to sanction the person that is supporting, it's going to cause more challenges for us in APC. There's going to be more problem. And I think the leadership should look at that properly. If we want to sanction the person that guy is supporting, it's going to be more problem. And we don't want more problem. So they should reason together and see the way we can resolve it without sanctioning anybody right now.
Another concerned citizen sent a message saying, what manner of politicians are the APC breeding? He said, what are the chances that if elected into public office, they'll be credible? So the fear that if we saw what we saw on Saturday, how are we so sure that whoever gets to be, or peradventure, if it happens that one of them happens to be the governor, how are we so sure, how credible can we say this person would be? So in your own opinion, you want to clear waves about the aspirants you have in APC for Ekiti gubernatorial?
Yeah, thank you very much. If you look at all the aspirants in APC, the 33 aspirants that are participating are people of credible character, are people you can trust. We know them. I mean, we have medical doctors among them, we have engineers among them, we have people that have PhD, we have people of integrity. We've screened them, we've known each and every one of them. There is no single person that is given an opportunity out of the 33 aspirants that cannot rule Ekiti State. And that I can assure you, I can assure Nigerians. So the feeling that, okay, maybe if you give any of them an opportunity, maybe they won't rule properly. I don't agree with that. Each and every one of them are credible. We screen them, we know what they can do, we know what they're capable of doing. Imagine Dr. Kawode Fayemi, he has ruled in Ekiti State before. Imagine Engineer Segun Oni, who has been adjudged to be one of the best people that we ever had in Nigeria. Some people even said that Engineer Segun Oni came ahead of his time. He came ahead of his time because he's a man that ruled this country, that ruled Ekiti State in this country without taking kobo that belongs to Ekiti State. It has never happened. He's a man whose integrity is so intact, and we even call him Mr. Integrity. He's a man that does not take anything to himself. So if such a person becomes the governor of Ekiti State today, how do you want to say he's not going to do well? He's a man of integrity. He's a man we all know him. We know what he can do. We have other aspirants that is on board that have been part of Ekiti State before now. So we are sure that, okay, if any of them becomes the governor, I mean, they rule very well. We have a standard in Ekiti State, and we know what we can do. So all of them are credible.
All right, thank you so much, sir. But before we let you go, of course, we've been told that the voting has been suspended, I mean, indefinitely. Do you have any reports on that? Are we still expecting the primary to hold? Because the election is just a few months away.
Yeah, thank you very much. The election will surely hold. We're expecting that. I think most of the aspirants and the leadership of the party are in Abuja right now, trying to resolve issues. I think at the end of today, we'll be able to know that this is a specific date that has been picked for the primary to hold. We need to have the primary. We're going to have it, and that I can assure you of. I mean, in another few hours before now, we will get to know when exactly the primary will hold. The leadership of the party, they're trying to resolve it. They've invited all the aspirants to Abuja. They've invited the leaders in Ekiti to Abuja as well. All of them will be meeting. They will brainstorm and give us a specific date. I want to believe on or before the week runs out, there should be an agreement on the day that we're going to have the primary. And it's going to be a credible one. It's going to be free, it's going to be fair, and we're going to have someone at the end of the day that is going to rule Ekiti State with the fear of God, and that's my belief, and we're going to have all of us happy at the end of the day.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. That was Yemi Olayikan, APC chieftain in Ekiti State. Thank you so much for being part. That's all we can take for now. All right, we'll be back to Lagos Studio still discussing what he said. But before then, remember that if you want to go see the movie Avengers, all you have to do is take a selfie picture of yourself watching Galaxy Television, and then of course tag us on Instagram at Galaxy TV, at Coca-Cola, and at Media Reach, and you have yourself a ticket to go see the movie for free. All right, back to Lagos Studio. And also remember that if you want to be part of this program, do not call, just send SMS to the numbers written on the screen. All right, Saz, you heard what Olayikan said. Let's start with you, Larry. What was your take on it? What's your reaction to what he just said about the whole thing?
Basically about the violence that characterized the primary election on Saturday. You see, one of the problems in this country is that we are very, very forgetful. You know, the Segun Oni that the Olayikan actually make mention of about the governor or government in recent times that has performed creditably in Ekiti State was actually a PDP governor then. You understand? What is happening in Ekiti you need to understand the current political atmosphere. Ekiti as a state, Ekiti as a set of people, once there is a general political convention, a popular political convention, they are very, very difficult to change. You cannot stop them. And it didn't start today. It has been there. If you dig into the antecedent of Ekiti as a part of Yoruba, you understand what I'm talking about. But as it is, at the moment, we have PDP government in power. Ekiti state is a civil service state, and you know one of the problems they have is that they are not paying the salary. The salary is not regular. And the truth about the matter is that there is a kind of fall, a kind of depletion in the goodwill of the present government, except they want to keep fooling themselves. That is what informed the 33 aspirants in APC in the first place, because everybody in Ekiti knows, or they believe, there is a kind of general belief that if APC should be able to work it out and present a credible candidate, is a walkover for them. You will understand that during the build-up and during the primaries, you see PDP members talk more about the crisis in APC, because as a media, gimmick, sending a signal that okay, these people that are likely to be an alternative, they are not coherent, they are not in order. If you understand what I'm saying, that is what informed 33 candidates or aspirants in APC in the first place. Because everybody understands that considering the federal might and the political calculus that is obtainable at the moment, once you obtain APC ticket, you are halfway, to occupying the seat of government during the next dispensation. So then talking about security, the thing is, in Nigeria, when you look at papers, when you look at the rules with which political organizations govern themselves, or they arrange, or they manage their activities, it is always good on the paper. But the problem is the implementation of people playing by the rules.
Okay. All right, then. We're having comments coming in here, and I can only take a few as it comes. But please remember, do not call. Make sure you just send SMS. I'd like to direct this to you. Someone here is saying, he said, good morning to you all in the studio, and I want to ask the question, why is the president not asking Fayemi to go clear his name in Ekiti on corruption issue before the primary election? He said his name is Shehu.
Yeah. If you go back to the time of the Oputa panel, there was a judgment of the Supreme Court that said that a panel inquiry cannot supersede a regular court. That was the suit filed by former President Ibrahim Babangida when he said he would not appear before Oputa panel. So I think that's what a lot of politicians in this position have been relying on. That if you have anything against me, go to court. That you cannot set up a tribunal or set up a panel of inquiry which will obviously walk to the answer, and my interest, I will not be giving, a fair hearing. So I think they rely on that Supreme Court judgment. I think it was in 2002, thereabout, that General Babangida obtained that Supreme Court. If you even remember, even Buhari also stood behind that judgment to say he wasn't going to appear before the Oputa panel. So now, if the state government had anything against Fayemi, I believe they should have simply, the House of Assembly also should have simply passed a resolution asking the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission or the ICPC or even the Nigeria Police to investigate Fayemi. But of course, we know the way politics is played in this country. Definitely, the chances that they would have done anything about such a complaint are slim. But even at that, even if the state government had initiated court proceedings, even if they don't get anywhere before the current government, leaves office, but at least it will be on record.
Okay. There's another one here. He said, although the person didn't put his or her name, he said that Your guys should stop blaming the law enforcement agency. APC should put their house in order. APC are making it like it's a do or die affair.
Yeah, the law enforcement. What is the law there for? You know, I can have a disagreement with somebody, but the law is meant to ensure that we don't take the laws into our hands. So that is why I blame the law enforcement agencies. You know, were they active? Were they working on the scripts? Because you saw so many of them. They may even have outnumbered the delegates in that stadium, and yet people walked confident, just like what we saw, the drama we saw at the National Assembly. Some people just walked confidently to the table and scattered the ballots. What if those people had actually, they had guns or had weapons on them? They could have opened fire and killed people. And what would you be saying? Would I be the one to come and restrain such people? That's why they are law enforcement agencies.
Okay. Another one also says that what I'm saying is that APC will use trouble to put fear in people, not to come out and vote in the coming election. That is a way, using this as a tool to restrict people from voting. Do you agree with that, Larry?
No, I do not agree with that. It is largely an unpopular party or candidate that use fear, to scare away people from voting. So as it is, I don't think they are going to adopt that kind of strategy. They do not even, we have a very funny situation in Ekiti. The incumbent government in Ekiti at the state level is PDP. So, and the federal government, APC. Okay. So if I do not subscribe to that idea that they are likely to scare away for what? Because they are likely to benefit more by encouraging people to come out to vote for them in the next general election. I don't see them adopting that.
All right, this is a comment from Chris Aldo from Nasarawa State, saying that it would be a disaster to the state of Nigeria if APC virtually wins at any level because they have nothing to offer to the people. So, and he's claiming that Mr. Yemi is just talking as a politician, that what differences will APC make?
Okay, what difference will APC make? Well, they will only make a difference to the extent that the people hold them to account. You see, you cannot just allow politicians to get